It's circa 1960s. Everyone is pretending to be hippies. They have colorful tasting clothing and an obsession with the Beatles. And war.
Come together right now over me.
In the history of American law, some cases truly stand out, shaping how we understood freedom and justice. One such case is Tinker versus Des Moines, an independent community school district. In Des Moines, Iowa, 3 brave teenagers, John Tinker, Mary Beth Tinker, and Christopher Eckert, decided to speak out in their own way. They wore black armbands to school to protest the war.
I was walked to school, to Warren Harding Junior High School, where I was in 8th grade, and for me, it was all about the emotions, the feelings about the war, being so sad, watching the news every night. Walter Cronkite would give the body count, and we would see these horrific stories of children running from their burning huts, and the world looked like it was on fire, and the soldiers in their body bags, and they would give this body count, and it was just horrible, and I just felt awful about really.
But their school didn't like it.
Basically, when we called the president of the school board and he said that he didn't want to talk to us, that kind of made up my mind for me right then. I felt that it was an important issue. I felt that we were right, that we should have the right to wear the armband because people wore political buttons, they wore crosses and crucifix and other symbols of what they thought. And so it didn't seem right to me. And so I determined then that I would wear the armband.
They got suspended and their families decided to fight back in court.
Our parents were kind of mixed. I guess our mother was very strongly supported what we were doing. Our father had a view of authority, which was that authority may not make the decision that you want them to make, but that you still had a responsibility to obey authority. And so when I left the house that morning, he called to me just as I was walking out the door, and he said, "You know, John, I'm not so sure you should do that. I'm not so sure you should wear that armband." And I said, "Well, why not?" And he said, "Well, the school authorities, they have a job to do and they've made a decision. And I'm not so sure you should violate their decision." And I said, "Well, Dad, it's just a black piece of cloth. And people are dying every day in Vietnam." And he said, "Well, then for you it's a matter of conscience." And I said, "Oh, I guess it is." And he said, "Well, then I support what you're doing."
Their journey through the legal system wasn't easy. They started in a local court, but the judge ruled against them. So they appealed to higher court, then another until they reached the Supreme Court. Their case raised an important question. Did the school have the right to stop them from wearing the armbands? At the heart of it all was the First Amendment, which guarantees freedom of speech. Finally, on February 24, 1969, the Supreme Court made its decision. In a 7-2 vote, the court said that the school couldn't stop the students from wearing the armbands. They said that the students have a right to express themselves, even at school. It was a big win for freedom of speech. The court said that the students don't lose their rights just because they're in school. But not everyone on the court agreed. Justice Hugo Black thought the school should have a final say. He said that the majority was wrong to interfere with the school's rules. Tinker vs. Des Moines Independent Community School District showed us how important it is to protect our rights, even in school. And it reminded us that sometimes it takes just a few brave individuals to stand up for what's right, to make a lasting impact on our society.
Breakfast where the news is read. nation children fed.